What else should you know and do during a networking event so you maximize your time spent there? Well, here are a number of tips, tactics, tricks, and attitudes that I take on that you might try when you go networking next time to exactly maximize your time spent. For starters, and this is in no order, but just listen to all of them and take them in, okay? If you press too soon, you might lose a deal, a friend, a tip, a resource, something. So instead of you pressing too soon for yourself or them, let people's needs come to you from them. Introduce yourself, ask a few easy open-ended questions to start the conversation, listen, observe, be patient, and prepared to respond, and then use the information that you just heard or observed with your eyes or your ears with careful precision, right where it fits best. When you feel like you really know someone, then you're in a good position to advise them, again with surgical precision, as to what it is that they need, how you can help them, directly, indirectly, or what. Also, don't discuss money, sales, or selling too soon. Think of it like this. For every second you talk money too soon, or, is this of interest to you? Would you like this? Do you think you can use my services? You will lose $1 in perceived value or other perception in the end. Don't be in such a rush to talk price, your fees, money, etc. Remember, when talking money, it's like 90-10 or 95-5. 90% is discussion, storytelling, racking up the benefits, etc. It's only when they say, how much is that? That's when to answer and talk money. Oh, it's only $19.95 or whatever. But see, you should never bring up money. You should never talk about sales and selling and pushing and Describe in detail, sure, what you do for your clients, what you can do for the person in front of you, but only based on what you heard from that person. When you eventually do talk about costs, the customer sees the value right away, hands down, this is a good deal, count me in. Hey, can you take payment with your phone? Do you take credit cards? Can I give you cash? All of those conversations and transactions take seconds, minutes, just like a few minutes. Everything else is build up. Here you go. Have patience. Timing is everything. If you ask too soon, you won't get anything. Maybe you are in need of a special favor, maybe some advice on the spot. Hey, who knows? The golden rule is let other people come to you because they want to. Attract them by listening and showing yourself to be the real deal, an expert in your field. Knowing when to ask is an art. The balance must always be equal, or at least lean in their favor. Them talking more, you listening more. What can you do for them before you ask for what you need? So that when you do ask, you have a greater chance of getting what you ask for. Your stealth-like mannerisms, conversations, eye contact, body language, they are big sellers in the sense that you get points big time for exercising those types of actions and behavioral mannerisms, especially when they are stealth-like. And you know what that means, right? Nobody's picking up on them. They're just subconsciously experiencing them, and they're like, whoa, this person, they've got a good vibe to them. Wow. I'm talking about you. You're never aggressive, never in people's faces or their space, never interrupting, never finishing people's statements or sentences. No, you're not a know-it-all. You don't want to be. And yet you do walk tall with certainty and poised to do well in what you do. But again, like I said earlier in one of the audio programs, actions speak louder than words. You don't toot your own horn. You let others do it for you. You're all into pumping the other person up. How can I help you? What's up? Tell me your story. Let me give you the spotlight for once. Here's the microphone. Take it. In fact, you do want people to come to you. Step back and think about your next move while you listen. See, if people seek you out of the crowd, when they know you just entered the room to network with others, wow, that says a lot about who you are and your reputation preceding you. Oh, that's so-and-so. Oh, I've been wanting to meet them. I've heard about them. Or, hey, you've got to meet this person. Come on, let's go talk to them. They just came here. Ask to be introduced to others. This helps to get the networking momentum moving in your direction. Ask a friend or the host at the event, hey, who have you met tonight? Anyone exciting that you might introduce me to or tell me to go talk to before they leave or we leave or before the event closes? I'd appreciate that introduction. Again, your attitude when networking should be a little stealth-like, reserved, a little held back, a little mysterious. Not like 100%, not 80%, but, there's a good percentage of you, like 20, 30%, maybe 40, but not 10, not so low that you're just an open book. No, again, your attitude when networking should be a little stealth-like. Networking and socializing with others is fun, but you're also there for business or something else. Remember, your agenda for the evening, your goals, etc., they're your business. They're not anybody else's. I mean, there could be what I want you to know about my business, what I want you to know about what I'm looking for. But then behind that curtain is something that you really want from the networking event or meeting somebody or, So you're there definitely to learn what others do and to see if there's anyone in the crowd that you like to work with or collaborate with. But hey, don't be too eager to work with everyone you meet. And I know you know this, but I am telling you this. Don't be too eager to work with everyone that you meet or specific people that may seem to come across. Filter out those who are not good prospects by laying low, letting folks welcome people into the crowd and into different conversation circles, and persuade you to join their groups. Hey, Bart, come here. I want to introduce you to this person. Oh, sure. Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah. All of this can be very effective in the long run. And again, that patience, timing is everything. Good things come. Stuff will come to you. That's what's going to happen. And you want to have those kinds of benefits and outcomes from networking versus I'm going to be very tactical and I'm going to get X cards and I'm going to talk to X people and blah, 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 blah. All those obvious things that certain people go for versus, and I'm actually thinking about a friend of mine right now. We go networking all the time and she's like that. She tells me in front of people, she tells other people, oh, Bart, when he goes networking, oh, very reserved. Hi, nice to meet you. Little information about him. He wants to find out more about the other person. And what happens is the whole night goes along and he's so mellow. And then before you know it, people start realizing what great conversations they have with Bart, whether he helps them with their business or an idea or just something. And then before you know it, everybody wants to talk to Bart or everybody wants to see Bart. And it's the end of the event when people are like out the door and the place is closing. So there's this heightened energy or, sort of an anxiousness to, before you leave, I want to make sure I talk to you. I'll make sure I have your phone. So there's that increased energy at the end of the night, kind of like a concert where they have an encore and they always play the best or the most favorite 1 to 3 songs at the end of the set list because they know that that's when people are anxious and they're, hey, I want to go, I need to go, but no, I don't want to go. I don't want the show to end. Be a leader and project leadership qualities. Introduce new people to others that they've already arrived, but people haven't met people, kind of help out there. Help the host if they need help. And remember to take plenty of pictures and photos and some video for your website, your press room on your website, your social media websites, and to share them with the other attendees there. There are a lot of people who forget to take pictures, or they don't take pictures. They don't know how, or they're not comfortable. You do it, okay? And take really good pictures. And I don't mean that to sound cliche. I've seen a lot of the pictures that people take. Give you an example. You're focusing in on a group. There's all of this space around the group of people, or the people are just kind of spaced and spread out a little bit. You need to tell them a couple things. Number one, everybody tight. Get tight. Okay? Number two, zoom in on these people so that the faces, their shoulders, and most of the time the upper body is taking up the full photographic view of the camera's, picture. Don't be showing like knees and different things like that. Well, unless it's like a huge group, like 20 people. But the point is zoom in, kind of like you're cropping the photograph before it gets cropped. Okay? And then also take pictures landscape, which is, long horizontal, and then have opportunities where you take them vertical or portrait. Because sometimes you have two people standing side by side. It's stupid to do that landscape per se, when if you actually put the camera, and a lot of people do it, but some people don't. Take different kinds. And you got them side by side. You've got a good face, shoulder, chest area, and maybe the arms, looking kind of cool, whatever. Maybe they got a book in hand. Anyhow, just take really good pictures. Every time I take pictures, because I say, give me the camera. Every time I take pictures, people always come back with, oh, this looks great. That's the response I get every time. And when somebody else takes pictures, oh, it's thanks. No. So I'm telling you, this advice I'm giving you, get everybody to get tight, wait for the right moment, crop in the people in that photo, make sure they take up the majority of the photographic space when you look at it through the viewer. Okay, all right, enough about that. All right, take good pictures. Be fun, energetic, full of life, and spontaneous. Never let people guess what you'll do next. Say next. I have a saying when it comes to marketing and selling to customers, which can be applied to networking with people. Always leave your customers wanting more, never leave them fully satisfied. It means never give too much information about you and what you do per se. Withhold just a little to keep those that you meet wanting more from you. This leaves them even more curious and wanting to pursue you later in the event if they had made their rounds and they talked to a bunch of people, but you left them kind of curious about some things. You left them with questions to ask themselves. So when they've had time to think about it towards the end of the night, they see you and they're like, hey, I'm so glad I bumped into you. I've been giving some thought to what you said about whatever, and I want to talk to you more about that. Do you have a minute? Again, this leaves them more curious, and they might really look forward to talking with you after the event more than any other person that they met there that night, just because you got them hooked to hidden treasures in your mind of the things that you could talk to them about, because you held back just a little bit. Be prepared to accept orders for whatever it is that you sell, products, services, and not that you're in their face or you're selling or you're talking about, hey, do you want to buy this? No. What happens is, people see what you do, they hear what you do, they hold a book in their hand. Have order forms ready. When you talk about stuff, say, hey, if you want to sign up right now, I'll give you a discount, early bird special, blah, 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 or whatever. Experiment with different sized order forms, full page, half page, quarter page, and you might even put it on your phone or your tablet or have it on a website. Have change on hand, 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s. Have business cards with your website address on them so people know where to order your products after they go home from the event. Do you have a merchant account or some way to process credit card orders? Do you have a credit card swiper for your phone? PayPal offers them, and so does Square. There's also Venmo and Cash.me apps that allow people to send you cash, which then gets deposited right into your bank account after you receive it. Be the last person out the door. Purposefully, strategically, and specifically you. Be the last person to leave the event. Seize the opportunity to learn as much as you can from every person there. Unless the event was like, a total dud, didn't meet your needs, and you just want to go home. We've all been there. Don't waste valuable time networking with the wrong people or a lame crowd. Be seen, but not heard. This is a networking tactic where people may have seen you at the event, at a table, walking around the room, talking to other people, but they missed the opportunity to speak with you for whatever reason. This adds to the mystique or celebrity-like role you play when networking. I saw him or her there, yeah, but I didn't get a chance to meet them. No, they were here and then they were gone. Next time, I'm not going to miss the chance to talk to them. Bring something special to the event to make you stand out. This could be anything from baked goods people might enjoy, a magic trick, a prop, or other gimmick that makes you stand out among the crowd when networking. Keep it professional, keep it fun, of course. Now, if you don't already know, bartscookies.com. I make some of the world's best and greatest chocolate chip cookies, and I sell them on my website, bartscookies.com. Sometimes I'll take a batch to a networking event where I know the meeting planner, speaker, attendees, or the host of the event, or I don't know anybody at all. On one occasion, the event coordinator allowed me to pass my cookies out to the attendees as she proceeded to introduce me to every single one in the room. It was a small group of about 20 people at the event. Well, not only did I get to meet everyone, but I also left a lasting impression on them just by handing out something, and in my case, cookies. You can learn more about my world-famous chocolate chip cookies at www.bartscookies.com. Hey, you never know. Again, it could be something you make or something you buy. Bring a box of donuts. Bring a bunch of gum. Bring some candy. Bring a box of cookies. Well, you might also check out ilovebartscookies.com to read what others think about them. Don't just take my word for it. Of course, I'm biased because I do love my own cookies, but hundreds and thousands of other people do too. So get inspired. Bring something to the event that makes you stand out. Okay? Here's your homework. Come up with your own gimmick, trick, tip, giveaway, or prop, and take it to the next networking event that you attend to so you can stand out in the crowd. Don't think you won't be remembered for that personal touch, and make the effort because you will. Never attend an event without business cards or your information quickly available to send someone via text. Give them out discreetly, of course, your cards, but you might also just design one yourself and just take a picture of it in your phone, keep it in, your gallery, and then when someone asks for your card, just say, "Oh, let me send it to you digitally. What's your phone number?" And then just text them, sending your business card as an attachment to them. And then bam, they've got it. Or you can also send the contact card file as an attachment that you want to share with people too. So just, most cards get thrown away anyway. So just send yours virtually speaking. Do not leave people alone. That is, alone on their own. A good networker can act as an unofficial host, tour guide, connector. Basically, it's just helping others to meet people, especially if you can point them in the right direction, or you're just kind of a social butterfly yourself. Well, why not use that to your advantage and actually help people out? Like, hey, what's your name? Hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Create a little joke, break some of the nervousness down, that people have. Don't be just a bystander sitting around waiting for somebody to come up to you. When you are surrounded by so much potential business and contacts and new friendships, ideas, collaborations, partnerships, joint venture partnerships, affiliate partnerships, you just never know. And those people that are shy and a little trepidatious in starting a conversation, you don't know who they are. You don't know who they know. You don't know what they could do for you. Go knock on that door and find out. Be heard but not seen. People heard you were there. They didn't see you, but they heard you were there. You were talking to people, you were networking, you were at a table. They know you were there, but they didn't get to meet you or even see you at the event. This builds even more mystique and intrigue about you. Your name is buzzing through their mind and through groups and people, and they're all saying good things about you. That's powerful, especially when building your brand and that popular celebrity-like status in your industry. I've heard so much about so-and-so. Where can I find him or her? I heard they're here. Hey, if you see them, will you find me and tell me, so I can go over and talk to them? I'd like to get my question answered or whatever it is that they want to do or talk to you about. So, do you see what I mean? You could be in their face, you could be in the open, yeah, everybody's like that. But while you're doing all these other things, make at least 10% of yourself, your presence there, be heard but not seen. Be seen but not heard. It's awesome. Help the host. You'll earn points, global recognition, and thanks in the form of possible gifts, special introductions, lunches, dinners, invitations to events, tickets that are not even just discounted, but comped. Hey, I'm having an event next weekend. I really appreciated your help here. Here's 2 tickets. You can come with a friend, and I look forward to seeing you there. Again, thank you for your help. Now, you never know, and you do these things without expectation. But plan to introduce yourself to every speaker or the host at the event. Offer to, hey, let me know if you need some help. You never know. Volunteer to help the host meet and greet people who come to the event. It's a great way to meet everyone anyway. No, you're not part of the staff, which you tell people, but they're delighted someone is welcoming them. And you're close to the host. You're standing probably right next to them or not far away from. So that kind of puts you in a special light. Help the host set up and also take down their event table and posters and displays and easels. I remember helping a lot of hosts and speakers out set up, and I told them, hey, when it's time to tear down, I'll be back. And they were so appreciative. In fact, we'd all probably go to lunch or dinner afterwards, and they'd spring their treat for my time and help. So it works its way around in cool ways. And again, do all of this without expectation, but the truth is what comes around goes around. And that's why you do it. Because, you know why to do it. So go do it. Move in or move on. Get what you need and move on. Don't monopolize people's time, and don't let others monopolize yours. Networking is an opportunity to learn as much as you can in the shortest amount of time. Talk at length later, on the phone or in person, at the office, or some other location. But in the networking event, it's almost like speed dating. You know what speed dating is, right? Everybody's got like 5 minutes or less to tell their story to the person sitting across from them there in the moment. We don't have time for 20-minute stories. We've got to get our information out or get the other person to get their information out so we can quickly deduce, keep her or throw it back in the water. You know what I'm talking about. Fishing. But seriously, okay, good. Not seen and not heard. Well, here's a situation where you're not at an event and your personal name or company name or products, they're not mentioned either. Well, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. You don't want or need to be seen or heard at these events that doesn't matter if you don't go. Great. Next. You're attending other events that are more worth your time and return. Remember, ROI, return on your time of investment. The bad. Well, maybe you might give it one try to go. If you did go, you might get some business. You might not. The ugly. By not going, you might not be making an impact on people directly or indirectly that maybe you really could or should. So what do you do? Well, don't be afraid to not show up to a particular event, no matter the size or the popularity of it, if it doesn't benefit you. You know this, I'm sure, but it's important to weigh the pros and cons of attending or not attending networking events. They cost both time and money and energy. Now, because you aren't seen or heard at an event, and you eventually do decide to attend maybe, wow, perhaps people are pleasantly surprised by your attendance and spend a little more time talking to you because you're maybe a little special. They don't see you come around to these events often. You just never know. So just realize that aspect of networking, not seen and not heard, the good, the bad, and the ugly, which can be turned into something beautiful. Get it? No? Okay. Observe how the networking event is set up so you can host your own event sometime in the future. Learn how people interact. What kinds of activities are there to reinforce the meet and greet to ensure people get what they need to communicate, connect? What kind of food and drink is served? What kind of building is it in? What about location, time of day, weekday, weekend, weeknight, lunch, breakfast? Knowing the process of setting up a networking event, what to do, what not to do, how many people do you think you need to help, can create a successful networking experience for yourself and others in a way that puts you in the driver's seat versus a passenger in the back seat. Really work the room. Exhaust every opportunity to speak with as many people as possible. Pick up every piece of literature for your study or follow-up purposes later. Remember, you can do a lot later after the event. So when you're at the event, you're like a sponge, soaking in, observing a lot, talking, but mostly asking questions, and providing great conversation. But you're listening more. Really work the room. Make yourself known to as many people as possible within this short amount of time. Seen and heard. Well, this is the most obvious action item at any networking event. To be seen and heard by everyone in the room, or specifically, quality over quantity, but really be seen and be heard. Be seen by everyone, heard by as many people as possible. By doing so, you've made your presence known. People enjoyed talking to you, and you have mastered networking in their eyes. The next time the event takes place and you're not there, whoa, that's a loss for that event, and the people feel it. You always leave such a good impression with people at every event you attend that people ask, "Where are you?" when you're not there. Don't be surprised to get phone calls or text messages from people asking, "Hey, are you going to come to the next event?" This is the power of being seen and heard and making a great impression on people. And you can imagine now, hopefully, after taking in all of my networking tactics, tips, tricks, techniques, and conversational question asking and all this kind of stuff, stealth mannerisms, you can probably imagine that quickly in time, you're going to be experiencing these kinds of experiences, where people ask you, "Where were you? We wanted you at the event. You're a lot of fun. Oh, everybody loves talking with you." So it's kind of one of the benefits to acting on and implementing my networking tactics. Now, what about drinks? Now, this is during an event, actionable items. What about drinks and drinking? Because sometimes there are alcoholic beverages offered at networking events. So, know the rules. For starters, it's better not to drink than to drink. If you're going to have a drink, do just that. Have a drink, one drink. You might even just drink half of it and put it down and, walk away. Also remember, you want to navigate the room with clarity and focus. You don't want to be turning into a fool, drunken fool. Some people get really talkative when they drink alcohol. You don't want to be loud and talkative and annoying. Don't be that kind of person. Everything in moderation, of course, all right? Now, with alcohol, you're going to have that on your breath. So do you want to be talking to like person after person after person after person, and they all say the same thing to themselves? Man, that guy or gal reeks of alcohol. So when networking, it's not really the place to party. That can be after the event. And word of caution, even after the event, moderation is key. Composure, keeping your balance, keeping clean, keeping your alcohol intake to a bare minimum, just enjoying just a little bit so you can maximize the conversation. And again, no alcohol in the breath. You're not acting like a fool. You're not talking all loud. You're not getting wild and crazy. That's not the time and place for that either. So just remember, you're talking to a lot of people up close. Plus, you also want to get home safely after the event if you drove. So when it comes to drinks and drinking and alcohol at networking events, absolutely everything in moderation. Have one if you want one. Hey, just have one. And you might just drink half of it, put it down, and walk away. Because you're there for business. You're there for networking. You're there for connecting. There you go. Also, other actionable items, smiling. Smiles, everyone smiles. No. Smile, smile, smile. Yes, you. Smiling connects with people. Keep a smile on your face as you walk around the room. Don't be walking around moping and looking all mean like, ooh, you're focused. Yeah, I get it. But seriously, put on a happy face. Smiling connects people with people. As one of the most universal languages, as we all know, it spreads joy and comfort quickly, faster than anything else in the world. Especially if you plan to socialize. Hey, brush your teeth, freshen your breath, keep those pearly whites smiling, and just smile. And when people say to you, hey, you've got a really nice smile, doing something right. And I might add, you don't even need teeth. Well, you don't need many. A few. It's really just the attitude that comes from smiling that people love. And if you have a gap, if you have a missing tooth, if you have something going on, that makes you unique and stand out. That's good. Yeah. Now, do turn your cell phone off or put it on vibrate. No exceptions. Well, tiny exceptions. If you're expecting a call, keep it on vibrate and put that phone in your pocket or somewhere where you can feel that vibrations. Hey, we all know we got family or we got emergencies. Maybe we got somebody sick in the hospital or at home. We got it, okay? Ringtones are intrusive, annoying, and interruptive. Sometimes I hear the worst ringtones, and I'm like, really? You listen to that every day? If you must check a vibrating call that's coming in, excuse yourself from the group and check on it, of course. But don't pull it out and then start talking to someone right there, all loud and proud, like nothing else is going on around you. Again, if you must talk on your phone, go outside the room, step away to a corner somewhere, against the wall, away from people. Only because sometimes people aren't heard on the other end, so you've got to speak louder, and it's obnoxious, and it's just use your best judgment. I know you will. Okay? Show some good cell phone manners at all times. If you're expecting someone to call you, you'll know if it's vibrating. Bzz, bzz. Excuse me, I have to take a call real quick. I'll be right back. Hold that thought. Or if it's just, it's going to be short. Hey, you don't got to go anywhere. Just say everything. Hold on, I got to take this call real quick. Yeah? Mommy? Okay, yes. I will. Thank you, Mommy. Okay, bye-bye. Avoid being in anyone's space. Oh, I haven't seen this too much, but when it happens, it's disgusting. Allow people to approach you by making yourself available, yes, and open to questions and conversations, but don't monopolize anyone's space or conversation or overstay their welcome. Keep the conversations flowing and then, bam, bring them to an end. But if anybody does get into your space or a little close to you, just pause, stop the conversation. This is what I do. And when you do anything with a smile, we talked about that earlier, people understand it. Stop, take a step back, and then put your arm out. Okay, I just want to make sure I got, okay, arm's length here. Go on, tell me about your story. Yeah, no, you were just way too close, and it's a little close for quarters in here anyway. Last thing we need to be doing is packing ourselves in here like sardines just to have a conversation, right? So go ahead, tell me what you were telling me before. Yeah, that's great. Oh, cool. All right. Commit to introducing yourself to 5 new people and reconnect with those 5 before you go out the door. Or just in passing, hey, great meeting you. All right, talk to you later. Now, you might also reconnect with 5 other people that you already know at the event, if you know them. But don't underutilize the time you spend at a networking event. We want to meet new people. We want growth. We want progress. We want movement forward towards reaching our personal, financial, and our business goals. Lastly, if promotional tables are set up, visit them. And I know you might, but some kind of just forget about them. Like, oh, I forgot the tables were there. Yeah. Who was setting up a table? Who had booths? What kind of businesses? What kind of people? Go there. It takes a few minutes. Just grab the person you're talking to. Hey, I want to go and visit the tables before the event closes. Come with me and continue our conversation. I want to keep hearing what you're talking about, but I do want to go to these tables over here. Come on, let's go. And then go there, pick up the marketing literature or business cards or product samples, and don't hesitate to leave your information with them if it's appropriate. Even if you think you might not be interested in picking up their literature, you might get some great ideas just from looking at their content or their style or their setup or their format, whether it's their table or the products they have. You might think, oh, this would be perfect for so-and-so in your life or in your business. The courtesy by you going over there could pay off, maybe not now, today, soon, but later. Or who knows? You just don't know. That's the whole thing about networking. Networking is like a big curtain. It's like a big door, and what's on the other side of that door or that curtain? Untold and unknown opportunities, riches, ideas, growth, you name it. You have everything to lose by just staying where you're at and not doing anything. No growth, no communications, no new friendships, no new business, no new leads, no new ideas, nothing. But by taking a few seconds, hi, how are you? What's your name? What's your story? Tell me. You just, again, it takes seconds. Boom, seconds, and then bam, like a waterfall of possibility. Who knows what's going to come from every networking event that you go to? I can look back on my networking events and say, at each event, I gained something. A friend, an idea, some time off, got myself out of the house, the home office, gave myself a break, a little socialization. And it turned into a great night. I came back re-energized, ready to get back at it after a good night's sleep that night. But it was great. Networking is awesome. You just got to show up. Put your best hand forward and say, hey, my name's Bart. What's yours and what's your story?